everyone, what's up, it's Amber here, and I would like to show you guys my latest plugin. This is pretty damn cool. It allows you to check stuff like if the player is parallel or not to between two events. As you can see here, the sound will only play when the player is between the two events. Now, it also allows you to check if a event is meeting up with another event, as you can see here. There's all sorts of things that you can do with this. It also allows you to check and see if a player is matching up with the event's location as well. As you can see, this event constantly plays because I am on that event, or tile. If I go to the top left corner here, on any of these four region tiles here, or on any of these four tiles, you'll see that the screen will tint. That's because this plugin also allows you to detect whether or not the player or event that you're trying to specify, whatever, is between or is within a rectangle of your choice. So, as you can see, the character changes graphic when he's on the path. This plugin also allows you to detect if the player or an event is standing on a region, one that you specify, obviously. And if it is, you can do all kinds of sorts of cool stuff. So, at first this might not seem like much, but this can actually be extremely useful in a ton of cases, especially for puzzle games. Or if you're having like a specific type of puzzle where you need to stand parallel between two lights or whatever, you got to move the lights around and you need to stand parallel between the two lights, you can do that. Or if you want to have a much wider stepping event, you can do that as well by using the region, or by using the rectangle detection. There's all sorts of amazing things you can do with this because, okay, let's say you wanted to make it to where you can automatically exit your map directly from any side. Like you don't have to spam, you don't have to like flood the map with events. You can actually just use one event to detect if it's within a rectangle of certain areas and whatnot, and then you can use that conditional branch to then warp the character out of the map. Alright, so yes, it is true that you can do all of this with events alone, but this makes it a hell of a lot easier. For example, this right here, this right here detects if he's on the region 1, if the player's on region 1. And if he is, it changes his graphic, and if it's not, we're going to just use else, create the else branch here. And if it's not, it just changes him back to normal. As you can see, cba.player_on_region, and then the region ID. This will return a true or false, so if it's true, it happens, if it's false, it doesn't happen, or whatever happens. Next up, we have cba.player_between. This checks and sees if the character is within a rectangle on the map, within the specified tiles, between 0, 0, which is this top left corner, and 2, 2, which is right here. I believe, yeah, right here. So basically it checks this entire, this 3x3 quadrant here. And if the player is within that area, by the way, the help file contains more information than this video will, probably. Anyway, if the character's within that region, then it tints the screen, and if not, then it changes it back to normal. Next up, we have the parallel check. Parallel checking works pretty simply. All you do is do cba.checkParallel. You define the axis. Now, there might be an update to detect if an event is parallel or not, but so far I haven't gotten there yet. It all depends on the demand, I guess. cba.checkParallel, and you define the axis, X or Y. If it's not working for you, check the console log by pressing F8. And, yeah, you define the two events. So event 1 and 2 are these ones right here. You can get your event ID by looking at the top. This is event 2, and this is event 1. So this little script here checks and sees if the player is along the x-axis, if he's between events 1 and 2. Same thing with the parallel Y, but we're checking events 4 and 5, which are these two events here. Player location match. This basically checks and sees if the player is on the same location as another event. It's kind of like a glorified step event, sort of. It's something that happens constantly. So if it is, we're going to play the battle animation, or the battle 3 sound, and we're going to play the animation general special. That's what happens when the character stands this little spot here. And last but not least, we have event location match. So basically this checks if event 7, which is this little slime, is equal to event 8, which is this little piece of road here, you can also do location check for events as well. But basically it's checking to see if this event is equal to this event in location, and if it is, it does that little animation that the slime does when he steps on it. That's pretty much how it works. It's incredibly simple, and it saves you a hell of a lot of time from using game variables to detect certain things. You can quickly check all kinds of stuff without having to, like I said, use game variables and everything, because that takes a little bit to set up, and you just have like this gigantic event. And the problem with RPG Maker MV is you have to separate some parallel processes, because some things, for whatever reason, will process with a giant delay. So this definitely helps out a lot. But yeah, enjoy. There is a download link in the description. Peace out.